By now, you may have heard the names of Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony, who were high school track athletes.
Keep your hands to yourself. That's what needs to be taught here. And to tell this young brother to give up your seat, give me your seat, this ain't no damn Rosa Parks era. You just can't go to a young black man and say, give up your seat. He had a right to sit there. And so that brother had his back of the bus moment and refused to give up his seat, and it cost that young white kid his life.
Oh, well, now you have to punch me. Punch me and see what happens. What he's trying to do, in my opinion, is escalate this situation to justify what he is already made up in his mind. He has already decided he wants to kill this white boy. That's what he's decided.
Some new details about the Dallas school shooter that the media, quite frankly, is ignoring, but I'm going to give you those details today.
All right, this might be one of the most tragic stories I've reported on. A high school student in Frisco, Texas, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, was stabbed in the heart at a track meet by another student. I'm going to...
To the rivers wide, tune in, it's time to take the ride. Regina's voice, it's your guide. West Virginia's heart, it's right inside. West Virginia, why are here the news?
What? Stop this madness. So on April 2nd, 2025, a tragic incident occurred during a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas. 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony allegedly fatally stabbed fellow student Austin Metcalf. According to reports, the conflict began over a seating dispute and escalated rapidly. Karmelo Anthony has claimed self-defense, but he has been charged with first-degree murder. As of now, he remains under house arrest with a $250,000 bond. Both families involved have reportedly received harassment and threats during the course of the investigation. The case has garnered significant public attention due to the severity of the crime and the young ages of those involved. As legal proceedings continue, questions remain around the escalation of violence, school safety, and youth mental health support. So that's what we're going to be getting into, you guys. And there's so many angles to look at. So what do you say?
Who were high school track athletes. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of the story that everybody has been hearing. So Austin and Karmelo don't know each other. They both went to different high schools and were at a track meet at a different high school. So Austin was under his school's tent during the track meet when someone they didn't know, identified as Karmelo Anthony, came over to them. The witness said that Austin told Karmelo to leave, and then Karmelo allegedly grabbed his bag, opened it, reached inside, and said, "Touch me and see what happens." Let me get this right. He came over.
In this video, we're going to go over the Austin Metcalf Karmelo Anthony case. Now, we're going to look at the facts, the law, and the possible outcomes. So first, let's start with the facts of the case. Now, first, let me introduce you to Karmelo Anthony. He's a 17-year-old, and he lives in North Texas. He's an honor student, captain of the football and track teams at his high school there in Texas. Now,
And let me just pause for a moment and say a huge shout out to Nate the Lawyer and Melanie King. Also, Nate the Lawyer has Paralegal Institute of Washington, and then Melanie King also has Melanie Off Script plus other things and a merch store. All right, guys, so let's continue on. And the other content creator, Miss Angela Rose. We're also going to be pulling from other content creators. You saw the quartering in there. So you're seeing, it seems to me that everyone's delivering the facts straight from different publications. Well, I won't say the facts from different publications, but I did go directly to this website because he just reads straight off of the court documents. And, I don't think that Mr. Anthony's case is looking too good. You guys let us know what you think, and let's continue on.
This is Austin Metcalf. He was an honor student with a 4.0 GPA and a member of the National Honor Society. He's also a linebacker on a football team, voted most valuable player. Now, for our facts, we're going to go right to the documents, the official arrest report for Karmelo Anthony. Now, there may be other people saying things outside of this document, but I'm going to pretend they do not exist right now because this document are the facts that police and prosecutors are going to use for this prosecution. Now, I'll set the scene. This is a track meet at a high school, and we have a pop-up rain shower. Karmelo Anthony is looking for refuge from the rain and runs under the tent for the opposing team. And our facts start from there. Now, in the police report, the first witness was interviewed by Officer Wetzel. As the police report says, this witness was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team and was near the victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Karmelo Anthony. So this is an eyewitness to the event. So here this eyewitness says Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, "Touch me and see what happens." No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Okay, so in a nutshell, this witness has just said Anthony was under the wrong tent. Austin, the victim, told him to leave. Anthony then grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside. Says, quote, "Touch me, see what happens." Austin then does it. He touches him, but nothing happens at this time. It says Anthony then gave another warning to Austin to punch him and see what happens. Austin then grabbed Anthony, and that's when Anthony plunged the knife into Austin. Now, here is a second witness to the event that was interviewed by Officer Fisher. He says when another male who he didn't know, I'm assuming he's talking about Karmelo here, walked over and sat under the tent, then said Austin, the victim, told this male that since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. Now, the witness says during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag he had. It was at this time the male took out a knife and stabbed Austin, then left the scene. Now, in both of these witness statements, they are claiming that Austin was the initial aggressor and Austin assaulted Anthony before the stabbing, where one witness said he was warned twice and the second witness says he heard the first warning. So where does this leave us? Well, again, based on the witness statements, Anthony was being assaulted by Austin, who essentially was trying to remove him from the tent. And now, since Anthony was the one being assaulted, he legally can employ self-defense to repel that attack. As an example, if Anthony slaps Austin, or if Anthony punches Austin in the face, that would be appropriate based on the level of force that's being used against Anthony.
Okay, guys, and this is where, to me, it gets really important that, we really talk about the law and the way the law is stated. I really like his opinion at the end. You guys, please go watch his content. I'm not going to give it all away. I will say I do agree with the assessment. So, all right, we're going to go to the avoidance part.
Avoidance. Texas is a stand your ground state. And there's no duty to retreat if you're lawfully present in a place. And you also have to make sure you're not provoking the conflict. That goes back to innocence.
And let's talk about provoking the conflict, right? He told Mr. Metcalf the first time was touch me and see what happens. Then the second time he's like, punch me. Why would you be telling someone to punch you? Punch me, do this, see what happens. No, it sounds to me like you had it set up that you wanted to inflict serious bodily harm, and you did it, and you wanted to claim self-defense on the back end of it. Let's check it out.
And then last but not least, reasonableness. Your belief for needing to use force must be reasonable under the circumstances. As you see here, Texas law only allows you to use deadly force against deadly force threats. Now, based on the witness statements, it doesn't look like any of these threats were deadly force threats. And Texas law is clear. You can only respond to deadly physical force with deadly physical force.
All right, so that's that. You can only respond to deadly physical force with deadly physical force. So the deadly physical force had to be imminent, and I don't see anywhere where it was imminent, but that will be up to a jury of his peers. I'm just wondering what that's going to look like. So let's continue on.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, my lady. All right, so we're going to run on over to Melanie King. We're continuing on. We just got a word from Nate, the lawyer. We heard his legal take on it, looked at the legal documents, and looked at what Texas law states self-defense is. All right, guys, so we're going to run over to Melanie King because there's some information about the attorney that I think you will find intriguing. So the title of this is Karmelo Anthony Backlash Exposes Felon with a history of fraud, woman battery, and child abuse. So I think this would be highly interesting to get into. What do you say, my lady?
Sounds like a plan. Let's dive right in and see what Melanie King has uncovered. This definitely seems like a deep dive worth exploring.
So let's remind everybody really quickly. So this incident happened. What was the date the incident happened? Remind our viewers, please. April 2nd, 2025.
Sure thing. The incident happened April 2nd, 2025. Got it. Let's keep that detail in mind as we dive into the rest of the info.
All right, so he was arrested. His bond was lowered. Now, remember, his family started a GoFundMe, and how much did they raise? Do you know? Do you have any data on it? I think it was almost $1 million. They're now very wealthy because of it.
Yeah, that's right. His family's GoFundMe campaign did raise close to $1 million. It's definitely a significant amount and has generated a lot of attention.
Yeah, understandably so. All right, let's jump into what Miss King has to say. She's amazing. I love her content. I've been following her for over a year. She's truly, and she's been doing this a long time. So I definitely really like her style and her input on everything. And I will say I've learned a lot from her.
Absolutely. She's fantastic. Her insights are always on point, and she presents everything in such a clear and engaging way. It's great that you've been following her for so long and learning from her content. Let's see what she's got to say about this situation.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it.
About Karmelo Anthony, and it is just so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say anymore. I want to start you off by telling you a little bit about the guy who is leading this press conference. I just couldn't believe it was real. I don't even understand what their whole end point is or why they would put this man out there to represent them. But, well, it makes sense with all the grifting that's going on. And I consider it blood money that is being given to this guy who murdered Austin Metcalf in cold blood. That is my take as far as the evidence I've seen so far. If something else comes out, then I'll be fair and amend it. But right now it's looking like cold-blooded murder. But the guy who's leading the press conference, listen to this. His name is Dominique Alexander, and he's a felon who beat a baby to the point of brain injury and is now acting as an advocate for Karmelo Anthony's family. Like, what? I'm going to get more into that post, but I just want to start you off with who is actually talking. Now, before I show you everything about the press conference, one thing that everyone is talking about is that this is Austin Metcalf's father. Now, he went to the press conference, and this was what it says. Austin Metcalf's father is attending the press conference for Karmelo Anthony and was asked to leave. And the Dallas PD police department was called on him. So he's not allowed to be at this press conference. Is it in a private space? Is he not allowed? I'm assuming they're doing it somewhere public, and he has every right to be at the press conference of his son's, his murdered son's accused killer. Like, this is the fact that they want to throw him out as though this family has done something wrong or egregious is just grotesque. But an update to the dad, it says Jeff Metcalf, Austin's father, is refusing to leave the press conference for Karmelo Anthony, and that the felon and advocate Dominique Alexander with Next Generation Action Network, doesn't this sound like Al Sharpton's grifting network.
It really does. I have to agree. It truly does. I will say this. So in my opinion, I think that, it's abhorrent that they kicked the father out, that he's the victim. And so they're trying to set a narrative with the public, right? I haven't heard anything that they're strongly requesting a change of venue. And to me, that would be something I would be questioning. If they're not requesting a change of venue, then they're trying to set a narrative through publicity and through press conferences. So what does that tell us about the news organizations that went to the press conference only to hear the suspect's side of it, right? And kicked the victim's father out? What kind of precedent does that set? If a news organization is supposed to be unbiased, not pushing a narrative either way, I don't know that justice could be served. I think that the prosecutor should probably request a change of venue.
You're making a strong point. It definitely raises concerns when the media only presents one side and excludes the victim's family. It can shape public perception in a way that might not reflect the full truth. Requesting a change of venue could help ensure a fair trial by reducing local bias and media influence. It's important for justice that all sides are heard fairly, and that can sometimes be hard when the narrative is controlled. A change of venue could be a step toward ensuring a more balanced approach.
Or maybe that's why they're strongly trying to keep the victim's father, out of the press conferences, because it's not just on a state level. I'm sure that there are syndicated networks that were represented on a national level. So it's not fair, it's not right, and it's disgusting to me. So we've got a lot of government in power right now, which is why I think there's so many up and comers ready to primary these corrupt officials out. And we're going to see primaries like we've never seen primaries before. And I am all on board. I'm excited about it. Let's get all this foolery out. I cannot believe that this happened. I'm upset about it. We'll just see how it plays out.
Over the past 40 years, Frisco has experienced several redistricting changes due to its rapid growth. Initially, it was part of the 26th district created after the 1980 census and has been predominantly Republican since 1984. More recently, in 2021, redistricting efforts split Frisco among the 3rd, 4th, and 26th congressional districts. These changes are typical of areas with significant population shifts and reflect the broader political and demographic evolution of the region.
Alrighty then. Well, let's wrap this one up, you guys. I think we've given you about all we can give. Let's get a word in from our sponsor, you guys. So if you want to feel better, feel healthier, you guys, there are natural products out there that you can take. Make it personal. This company that we have recently gotten involved with is called Tranont. And Mary Beth, do this for me.
Of course, if you're looking to feel better and healthier with natural products, check out Tranont. They offer a range of wellness solutions that can be personalized to your needs. You can find out more at tranont.com/Regina Connell. Give yourself the gift of better health and wellness.
All right, guys, that's all we got today. We thank you for joining us. My name is Regina Connell with West Virginia Wire. If you are liking what you are hearing, you guys, please hit that like, share, and hopefully by now we've earned your subscription. Hopefully we've kept you engaged, and let us know what you think. Most importantly, let us know what you think about everything that's going on. If there's something going on in your neighborhood, let us know where you're from and how we can jump in and help work things out. For now, we'll see you on the flip flop. Peace.
From mountains to the rivers wide, tune in, it's time to take the ride. Regina's voice, it's your guide. West Virginia's heart, it's right inside. West Virginia Wire, hear the news. Politics and stories, what's shaping you.